WHO-DEY, y'all. I hope y'all had a wonderful New Year. This is my first ever New Year's show, in the year of 2023. And it's a blessing for me to see another year too. Well, this is your boy, Stanley Soul Train Jefferson, once again, giving you all the goods that's going on here in the tri-state and especially here in Cincinnati. And what a great time to be in Cincinnati, because look what I'm wearing. Look what I'm wearing. WHO-DEY, 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 WHO-DEY think gonna beat them Bengals? WHO-DEY, WHO-DEY, WHO-DEY think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody. You got it. Today we're gonna be talking about the WHO-DEYs and their win against the Bills and their upcoming game against the you-know-who's, the Chiefs, at Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday. We'll get to that here in a bit. Well, once again, this is like my first ever show in 2023. I was going to have some guests to come on my show. Unfortunately, due to some personal things and everything, they couldn't attend. So I thought today I could talk Bengals talk on my own and, and tell you what my prediction is for the game coming up on Sunday and about their performance against the Bills and their offensive line. I mean, there's a lot of things, I want to go over. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is, my first ever show. We already did that. We're going to go into the Bills, the Bills game. Let's talk about that. Well, the WHO-DEYs, they beat those Buffalo Wild Wing Billies over in Orchard Park, New York, by the score of 27-10. O-line did an excellent job protecting G.I. Joe Burrow. Burrow, you my boy. What's up? They did a good job protecting him as he, did some passes, and Jamar Chase did his thing, and everyone pitched in, and the defense, they really, did their thing, and we got some stops. And of course, we came out with the victory in the snow. Once again, 27-10. They go on to play the Chiefs coming up on Sunday. And I'll tell you, so far, the past several seasons, the Bengals have really embraced this community. I mean, you have no idea. They really embraced me since I got here in Cincinnati back in 2021. And they embraced, the entire city, the tri-state. I mean, not just here in Cincinnati, but around, Southwest Ohio, the whole state of Ohio, Indiana, and of course, Kentucky, my home state. I can't leave out my old Kentucky home. And of course, Big Blue, they're doing good too. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They beat Vandy on Tuesday. We'll talk about that another time. They played Rock Chalk Jayhawk on Saturday. I'm going to call this weekend, UK WHO-DEY weekend. UK WHO-DEY. Remember that. UK WHO-DEY. So we got to talk about Sunday's game coming up against the Chiefs. Obviously, it's a rivalry between Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. But however, Joe has the upper hand on Patrick, because the last 3 times they played in 2022, the WHO-DEYs came up on top. Let me show you a little something that I put together, a little graphics I put together before I start this show. As you can see here, the last 3 games, they were very, very close. And I expect Sunday's game to be very close as well. Check this out. January 2nd, 2022, it was a close game over at the then known as Paul Brown Stadium. Bengals came out on top, 34-31 in that matchup. And January 30th, we all know what happened in the AFC Championship game. McPherson had the moment of his life, kicking the game-winning field goal, sending the WHO-DEYs to Super Bowl 56 by the score of 27-24 in overtime. It was a battle. It was a battle of wills. This rivalry right here is a battle of wills, and I expect the Bengals, to come in there, with confidence and business on their mind. Take it one game at a time. But the Chiefs, they're gonna be mad this time, and we'll get to that in a minute. December 4th, again, the WHO-DEYs came up on top, 27-24 in another nail-biting game here in Cincinnati. Now, I do want to say this about Sunday's game. I expect it to be tough, rough, and a nail-biter. Patrick Mahomes will not stop at anything, even though he has a high sprained ankle injury. It's not going to stop him from trying to perform and play his heart out to try to bring home the W for the Chiefs to go to Super Bowl 57. That's at stake, folks. Super Bowl 57. Like Heinz 57. Think about it. I like Heinz 57 on my steak, on my pizza, anything. When I think of the number 57, I think of Heinz 57. So that's what's at stake, Super Bowl 57 in Arizona. And I feel like the WHO-DEYs, they definitely going to come up on top. I'll say the final score is going to be a little similar to what I just showed you on the screen. It'll probably be like 27-24 again. McPherson hit the game-winning field goal, as time runs out. But I'm telling you, when the Bengals go to Arrowhead, the Chiefs, the Chiefs Kingdom, everyone there, the team, they're going to be mad this time because, the WHO-DEYs, they really came in there and took the AFC Championship away from them last year on their field, of all places, at Arrowhead Stadium, out of all places. And then the last 3 times, like I mentioned, the Bengals got the best of the Chiefs in those nail-biting games. They only won by 3 points. Now, it's trivia time. Now, can anybody tell me the last time the Chiefs beat the Bengals? I know. I'm going to give y'all a couple of seconds, a couple minutes to think about the last time the Chiefs beat the Bengals. Well, you come up with an answer? Well, I did. Well, here's the answer. Hold on one second. Let me, this is worth putting on my glasses on, The last time the Chiefs beat the WHO-DEYs, the Bengals, it was in Kansas City by the score of 45-10 on October 1st, 2018. Wow, that was a butt kicking in that game, I'm sure. But again, this is not going to be an easy game for the Bengals. It's not. They got to come in there, with the expectation that that the Chiefs rather, they're going to come into this game with revenge on their mind, anger in their mind, because they want to keep winning Super Bowls. But the Bengals, they want to do something that they never done in franchise history, and that's win a Super Bowl. But they got to get over the Chiefs first. So once again, Bengals, if you're watching, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Joe Nixon, Zach Taylor, everybody, please take it one game at a time like y'all been doing. Keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to get there. Trust me. So just worry about the Chiefs now. You all going to win. My heart goes out to y'all. I'm going to bleed orange and black. It's going to be a blast. I'm telling you. So, for a reminder for all you WHO-DEY fans out there in WHO-DEY Nation, we got a game coming up. The AFC Championship Part 2. Part 2, folks. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Once again, chili versus barbecue. Chili always take over barbecue. I'm sorry, but I like barbecue too, but it's all about that chili. I love that Cincinnati chili. It's going to be on Sunday, 6:30 on the Columbia Broadcasting System, a.k.a. CBS. In case you all don't know, that's what CBS stands for, the Columbia Broadcasting System. At Arrowhead Stadium, be there. If you can't be there in KC, be there in spirit by going to some of the restaurants and pubs and clubs, around downtown Cincinnati. Go to the banks. There's something going on there. I know there's something going on. They always have that big Jumbotron TV over at Great American Ballpark, over at the Holy Grail, over there on Joe Nuxall Drive or street, whatever that is. On that street, they usually have games on there. It's a best way to come out and, be with other WHO-DEY Nation fans and, and watch the game and, pull out, help them pull out a victory. So just be there. And for those of you in KC, cheer loud and proud for me. Cheer loud and proud, please. This is a much needed win for the Bengals. And, there's something, like I said, they have a chance, to do something that they never done in franchise history, and that's win a Super Bowl. But first, once again, Bengals, worry about the Chiefs. Worry about being in Arrowhead Stadium. Worry about the Chiefs being mad. Worry about the fans being mad and pumped up and fired up. They're going to be fired up waiting on you. So please have that in mind when you play the game at 6:30. We're all going to be watching you, and I expect you all to perform well. Well, I already told you my prediction. I told you, how much this, I kind of told you how much, the Bengals have really embraced the community. I mean, it embraced kids. It embraced myself. It embraced, small businesses. It's going to be a busy weekend here in Cincinnati. Not just in Kansas City, but also right here in the Queen City. And I'm here to tell you that, everyone's going to be pumped up. There's probably going to be people tailgating. And I'm wondering to think if Paycor Stadium is going to have a watch party over at Paycor Stadium. That'll be cool to see. But I think they're waiting on the Super Bowl for that. But, it's going to be bumping. And I have to say, the Bengals have really embraced this community. And, I know they're going to keep, doing their winning ways. And just imagine if the Reds do something. It's going to be even more enthusiastic and embracing, if they do something. I expect something big happening with the Sea Reds, too. That's why I call them the Sea Reds. I expect them to do something this year, too. But the Bengals, for now, it's all on y'all. So please, 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 play your hearts out. Fans, watch the game. Be there. If you can't be there in KC, watch it on TV, on CBS. They counting on you. They counting on me. They counting on you. Well, I'm telling you, I wish I had somebody here to talk to me about, the matchup and everything, but it's going to be interesting to see, Patrick Mahomes, playing with that high sprained ankle. He's wanting to, put in 100%. It reminds me of Isaiah Thomas in the 1988 NBA Finals. In that game, in Game 6, at the Forum, he hurt his ankle when he was going up for a layup or a shot or whatnot, and he was hobbling. And he went down on the ground. The trainer of the Detroit Pistons came out and, assisted him and everything. But for some reason, he came back in the game, and he scored a whopping total 41 points. However, the Pistons came up short, losing by one, with, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, hitting those game-winning free throws. And, of course, we all know what happened in Game 7. The Lakers came up on top, winning four games to 3. But the Pistons, they came back with revenge in 1989, sweeping the Lakers 4 games to zip. But I'm telling you, the Chiefs are going to be mad. They're going to be, ready. They're going to have revenge on their mind. But it's going to be the WHO-DEYs that's going to win. I know they're going to be ready. So what I'm trying to say is with Patrick Mahomes, when I compare him to Isaiah Thomas, he's showing a lot what I like to call perseverance. He's showing a lot of perseverance, not only for himself, but also for the team. But at the same time, he needs to be careful, and if he can't move, then he can't play. He has to move. He has to, make routes. He has to make the pocket pass, to the receiver or whatnot. He has to, move. The coaches really have to keep a good eye on him. So I hope he plays his heart out. against Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow's going to come out on top. So trust me on that, WHO-DEY Nation. Now, before I go here, I got to do this. This is a little something I like to do. Before I go, I did this with Bengal Jim. The last time I was here, I had Bengal Jim. This jersey I'm wearing now, before I go, it has to do with James. It's number 20. You see that? Number 20. He really, he was a pretty good player, I'm sure. But WHO-DEY Nation, be there for the Bengals. Be there when they play the Chiefs. And why don't you all tell me what you think the outcome of Sunday's game is going to be? Why don't you tell me this? You can go on my Facebook page, or you could go on to my, you can email me personally on what you think. Hold on one second, let me see something. Well, I don't have it on there. Well, I can get it on there. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm trying to find my email here so y'all will know. I got a lot of stuff on here. Okay, here we go. Why don't you guys email me at sbj285@yahoo.com and tell me what you think, the final score of Sunday's game going to be. Or you can go on my Facebook page, which is Set the Record Straight with Soul Train. You can, comment on there on what you think, the final score is going to be. I'm going to have this on my web, talking about, on my Facebook page rather, talking about, my bold prediction of the game. I already told you all on air on what I think is going to happen. 27-24, WHO-DEYs, you know it. So why don't you tell me your thoughts on what you think the final score of the game is going to be, what's going to happen, what you think is going to happen, stuff like that. I would love to hear from you guys. So before I go here today, I got to do my WHO-DEY chant. Let me get the music going here. Hold on one second, y'all. Let's see. All right. Now, 1, 2, 3. WHO-DEY! WHO-DEY! WHO-DEY think gonna beat them Bengals? WHO-DEY! WHO-DEY! WHO-DEY think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody! Woo! Excuse me. Go Bengals! Beat those Chiefs. Beat those Chiefs. Send Patrick and those Chiefs home. Well, they always gonna be home in KC. So chili over barbecue any day, anytime, any place. I'm sorry, but chili is the best. Chili over the barbecue. Watch it on CBS at 6:30 on Sunday, y'all. You don't want to miss this. So until then, like I always say, give me 1 second here. This graphics, they're acting kind of funny here. 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, it's been, a treat, talking to you all in WHO-DEY Nation. Just remember one thing only. Keep it fresh, Cincinnati. WHO-DEY, go Bengals, beat those Chiefs, and God bless. And Bengals, my heart and soul goes out to y'all. Play your hearts out. Go to Super Bowl 57. All right, y'all.